we're gonna go ahead and let me bring on the next person. Sister Yaya should be back here. I'm gonna bring her on and I'm gonna move her to the webinar. And Erica and team, if you can on your computer, just go ahead and close out of the session, and then you'll be removed from the stage. So we now currently have Sister Yaya here. Welcome, Sister Yaya. Sorry for the delay. We were just getting so good with the last session. I didn't want her to end. Welcome, welcome. I want to go ahead
Are
and
we
do
good
a
now?
introduction.
She said
So
go out, log out.
yeah, just log out of the session, Miguel. And once you log out or close out, there we go. So everyone, if you're wondering what's the title of the session, sometimes I may miss it because again, I got so much going on. I'm answering emails, typing and everything. I may not mention the title of the session, and my apologies for that. The last session that we had was Curanderismo, Holistic Healing with Native Plants. So what you just saw is you learned about healing, ancient Mayan healing. Erica is a curandera, traditional curandera, and so she showed you some of those limpias that are used in traditional Mayan culture. And that's a great segue to our current speaker that we have right here on the stage, because she also practices from, in Mexico and the Yucatan. She also incorporates a lot of these practices in her teachings. Her name is Sister Yaya. So Yaya is here to talk to us about Caribbean herbal remedies and women's health. So her background is Haitian, Jamaican, as well as traditional Mayan herbal medicine. And she had an amazing session last year. She is back for a second year at the BIPOC Herbalism Conference, and we are excited to have her back for this next segment. I am honored to always be in her presence. I told her yesterday, I think we're related somehow. I'm not sure how, but I feel like your little sister. So I appreciate you for coming to the stage, and go ahead and take it away.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I just want to give thanks and honor, honestly, for this space. Abril, I want to honor you once again for giving us Indigenous people, healers, a voice. Where before, we practice in our countries, our neighborhoods, and who knew about us word of mouth. And, we're not social media gurus. So, trying to get our work out and let people know that we're here. And they thought they cut us down, but they forgot we were roots. And so a lot of these roots are springing up in all of the speakers that are here. But I thank you for lending your platform, your expertise, to allow us to go through the entire world, and that our message and our ancestors, their voices are still alive. So first, I want to thank and honor you, and I'm always going to thank and honor you for putting this together on this platform. So thank you, Sistah. I appreciate it. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you. I want to thank the BIPOC Herbalism Conference team for all the communications and helping all of this to come together for such a lovely experience. The sponsors, and also, what is a conference without the people then to come and see? All of you who are in the chat, drop some hearts, drop some emojis, drop some love, because we're about to get in some fire right now. All of you who are in the chat, I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to the call of your ancestors to say, you know what, let me tap into something beyond myself, because there's something more than what they've been telling us. There's something more than what I've been feeling. And this conference, just from what I heard so far, is giving those vibes, family. It's giving the vibes. It's giving vibes. So first, I want to thank you as well. And before we begin our session, let us start by bringing in the energy of the Great Spirit. The one that creates us all, the one that gives us life, that's bringing us breath, that brings us health and strength, the one that allows us to have the wisdom, the insight to even touch this medicine, and the medicine make magic in our lives. We cannot bring this teaching forward without first acknowledging our most elevated and evolved and healed ancestors, all of our ancestors, especially the elevated and the evolved ones, because them are the ones who are bringing us this magic. It's them are the ones who are taking us on this journey so we can remember ourselves. So wherever you are, take one hand and put it on your heart, and the other hand you want to put on your wound space, on your pelvic bone, in that area. And I just want us to breathe together, breathing deeply in through our nose and exhaling through our mouth. And when we breathe in, we want to breathe in life and peace and joy and prosperity, our birthright. And as we exhale, I encourage you to release fear, anxiety, uncertainty, doubt, mother wounds, father wounds, trauma through our breath. And the fact that we're gathered together means that we multiply the effects of each other. That's the power of coming together. So let us breathe in through our nose, exhale through our mouth. Breathe in, breathe it all in, all that belongs to you. Exhale, everything that no longer serves you. Breathe in compassion, love, power. And exhale, oof, ah, let it all out. And at this moment, I would like to invite the Great Spirit, the ruler of all things, the creator of all things, into this circle. I ask that your presence be made manifest in each and every person on this live, and each and every person who will listen on the replay and the replay again. May they feel your love and your compassion. I call upon the great and evolved and elevated and healed ancestors. May your presence be known to each and every person. May every question be answered. May every worry be soothed. May every wound be healed, because we know that all things are possible because we have the power. I give thanks for all animal totems, all spirit guides, all benevolent spirits that are angels and guides that are here with each and every one of us. I ask your presence, I ask your love, I ask your compassion to be with us as we learn more about us as indigenous Caribbean people, but truly people of the land, people of this earth, people of the Most High. And I say thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me in that opening. In our tradition, we open up with spirit because we know spirit is everything. So I had to give honor and thanks and bless and set the atmosphere so there's no distractions, that your eyes can see, your ears can hear, your heart can discern, and you can get all of the goodness that you come here to get. So welcome once again. Ashe, Ashe, Aibobo. Let's get into it. So today's topic is going to be, let me share my screen with you, and I'm not really good with tech stuff, so please bear with me. All right, let me know if you can see my screen. It looks like it's showing. All right, all right. Okay, so today we're going to talk about Caribbean herbalism for women's health. The reason I focus on women's health in particular is for a couple of reasons. In my culture, we're matrilineal. That means the gifts, the blessings, the property passes through the mother. It's not to say that men aren't strong, men don't have their own capabilities and they don't contribute. But the emphasis when it comes to family, community, wealth comes through the matrilineal line. So this is the perspective that I take. Therefore, I focus on Caribbean herbalism for women's health because we are, like they say, there's two words in Haiti called potomitan, like the main beam of the house. That's us. We're not right, nothing ain't right. If we don't feel well, nothing don't feel well. Our household shares our same emotional energy. Our children share our same emotional energy. So I'm going to show you some ways in which we use herbs, herbalism, prayers, different things so that we can remain strong, that we can remain aligned, that we can remain focused, that we can really be in our birthright. So a lot of the spiritual powers that women have, even traditionally in Caribbean cultures, as some of you may know, Ana Kaona, Queen Annie, so many great revolutionaries where women always work with herbalism, always work with prayers. These were women who were a part of a lot of our revolutionary culture. By the way, I'm a Jamaican Maroon and I'm a Haitian Maroon, right? And if you know anything about Maroonage, Maroonage tells us we love our freedom. But we love our freedom, right? So you know the Maroons of Jamaica, they weren't about that enslavement business. They weren't about that. You're going to tell me what to do, how to eat, where to live, how to raise my children. And we're still not about that business. So we use herbalism for our freedom. And that is the premise of this talk as well, is herbalism for freedom and liberation. And I'm going to share with you what herbs we use for that. I'm also going to do some demonstrations and talk a little bit about some other processes that we do so that our energy is free. A lot of these herbs can be used for men as well. But today we're going to talk about women's health. So let's get started. Let me see here. And y'all forgive me again. Okay, a little bit about me. talked a little bit already. I am the co-founder of a wonderful organization called Soul Tribe Heals. I say co-founders because the ancestors and the guides have given me this vision. It's not just me, myself. So they're the true founders. I'm just the vessel that they use to do their work here on earth. I'm Jamaican Haitian, both sides, Obia, Voodoo, and Christianity all mix up in a one pot. It's pretty much my tradition. Some people call me a shaman. I don't like the word, but I'll put it on there anyway. Herbalists, oracle, energy healers. And as Abril mentioned, I do live here in Yucatan. I am actually on the ocean, so I do rituals to for the maintenance of the sacred waters that are here. And so that's a big part of my work is land rituals and speaking with the spirit guardians of the land and making sure that proper honors is being paid so that certain places the energy can be maintained. I've lived in places such as Panama, the city of Panama, San Blas, the archipelago, Brazil, Salvador de Bahia, Brazil, Belize, and I'm in Yucatan. Currently, I have retreats, individual and group retreats to teach what I know to support anyone who needs help. And my work has been published in the Yucatan Times Magazine, which is a big magazine here of the healing work that I do here. So that's a little bit about that. So our chat today is going to be the importance of the role of women in Caribbean culture. I talked a little bit about that, but I'll go a little bit more into that because it's very important. And we're going to talk about a few herbs, and I have some here present with me so I can show you. And I woke up extra early this morning to go harvest a few. So I'll show you the ones that I have. And I'm going to show you a few demonstrations, something really fun, something really easy that you can do right away. Okay? And of course, leave some time for question and answer. Part of this is not just me sharing all of this information. I'm also curious about what you're interested about, what your needs are. So I want to leave some time to answer those. All right. So women's health, you got to know, there is a sacred trinity. Anyone who is in the Caribbean and spent time there will tell you about this sacred trinity. It is Jamaican verbine. Each one will go into a little bit more detail. Jamaican dog blood and Ramgo Dashalang, also known as, in other cultures, like here in Mexico, it's also known as Damiana. Damiana. We're going to focus on these three and a few others in a little while because these are very, very, very sacred. Again, understanding the importance of women's health and us being healthy, not just to be healthy, but do we realize it is a revolutionary act to be a healthy woman? Okay, what do I mean by this? When you are well, when you are in your own energy, when you are aligned, when you are free in your energy, you make different decisions. You have a higher risk tolerance to do things for yourself. Maybe you'll start that business. Maybe you'll move to another country because we lived in New Orleans and now we're here. Maybe you'll move to another country. Maybe you'll homeschool your children. Maybe you'll finally find the energy to love yourself enough to cut off the low vibrational entities or energies that's dragging you down. Maybe you'll find the courage to stand up to those mother wounds, father wounds, family wounds. And these herbs, believe it or not, can help you to do that. These are our physical allies, but they also carry energetic messages. They carry energetic love taps that help us to tap into our higher self. And we're going to talk a little bit about them. But using herbalism as part as your breakthrough of your freedom is something I encourage you to do. I'll talk a little bit about that in just a little bit. So Jamaican verbine is going to be at the top of my list. And, you know, the screen is here. You can read it, but I'm going to read a few things here. But I also want to talk about something really important since I have this wonderful opportunity to share this with you. These herbs and the way we use them in indigenous Caribbean culture are very helpful, especially in my practice here, in healing things like sexual abuse, sexual trauma, and generational curses. These are the things that I don't think can get a lot of conversation online because of like how things are like, you know, filtered and things like that. But I use them specifically and invoke their energy specifically for those things. A lot of people are have been entangled, or their energy has been entangled or fragmented. As my sister Erica just talked about, susto, when parts of you just kind of fragment. And we have to recall those parts back to us. We have to find out where they are and bring it back to us and to contribute to our wholeness. We can use herbs like Jamaican vervine and other ones I'm going to talk about to help us to do that. And I'm going to show you a demonstration in just a little while. But just so you know, the energetic freedom that these plants can give us is amazing. That's how we as Caribbean Maroons, Indigenous Maroons, Taino people, we've always used these plants as an element for our freedom. So Jamaican vervine, as you can see here, it's a blood purifier. The first step, remember this? If I didn't remember anything else, the first step in Caribbean healing, no matter male, female, is going to be cleansing. Cleansing, cleansing, cleansing. Right now, as we're talking, I have bottle burning because it's cleansing the environment that I'm speaking in. We're always cleaning. We're always cleaning. We're always cleaning. Why do we cleanse? It's because if we cleanse out the things that no longer serves us, it gives our bodies a chance to kind of like, oh, okay, all right, so the skin can clear up on its own. Oh, okay, it just needed to stop eating this, or it just needed to not be so stressed out. And oh, it gives our organs a chance to function optimally. It gives our energy a chance to function optimally. So if you're working on any healing journey, the first thing I would always recommend some type of cleanser. Jamaican vervine can help to do that. It's great for hemorrhages, headaches, nerve problems, sleep problems. You make your pot of this. I have a little bit here, but it's dried. Before you go to bed, you will rest amazing. Add it with a little mugwort, regular mugwort. And guess what? Not only will you sleep well, you can get some dreams. And those dreams can answer some questions that you've been having. It helps with depression, asthma, colds, eye tonic, wound healing, digestive issues like IBS. Again, we talked about cleansing. So if you're backed up and your system is not being properly eliminating the waste and you're backed up, you're not going to feel well. You're definitely not going to think well. Your emotions are not going to be in alignment. Elimination is so important. So important. Again, that goes along with the cleansing. It helps to clear the uterus and fallopian tubes of inflammation, expels worms. Some of you have children going back to school now. Every time the seasons change, summer, fall, winter, spring, all of those things, 4 times a year. Deworming, because we know parasites is a major contributor to just not feeling well, mental health illness, and a variety of different things. We growing up, we've always got the castor oil. I know y'all know about that. Some of y'all know about that castor oil. Castor oil and that big spoon sitting on the counter, and you knew what time it was. And we'll get that, take it, and just to clean up. The first couple weekends of school, we were getting cleansed, getting rid of the worms, everything that was backed up. And guess what? Rarely at that time did we ever get sick. So if you have little ones, I encourage you to do your research, or you can, we can chat it up. Some good cleansing things for your little ones, because the little ones must be cleansed, especially in the age where they're eating so many processed foods. Absolutely. Postpartum healing. I'm going to show you a little bit how you can use this postpartum as well. And just know it's one of the most sacred of our herbs. Those who want to connect to their inner self, their psychic part, the highest self, you can use vervain to assist with that in candle magic, in a spiritual bath, drinking it as a tea and speaking over the tea. It's great for issues of fertility, not just wanting to have a baby, but maybe you're trying to birth a business, maybe you're trying to birth an idea or birth a concept. With Jamaican vervine, it will help you to build your confidence. And as Salima was talking about earlier, because I tuned in to your section too as well, my love. Sexual health is wonderful for sexual health and building and exploring your sexuality, which builds into your creativity, and is also a wonderful herb for protection. Contraindications for this one: first and second trimester of pregnancy. Some traditional midwives will use it towards the end of pregnancy, but that's something you will need to consult with them. Okay. Next, we have Jamaican dog blood. Now, don't be thrown off by the name. Dog blood is because the little berries that grow on the plant, when you squeeze it, it looks like blood. So it's a very beautiful plant. This one is the chiefess of fertility herbs. I love vervine because it works great with dog blood, but main issues with the dog blood is so good for any type of lower chakra inflammation. So men can use this too. Men can use it as well. It helps to unblock the fallopian tubes, anti-inflammatory, which I mentioned, regulates the hormones, alleviates PMS, blood purifier as well, antiviral, antimicrobial, wound healing, boosts the immune system, and can be used postpartum. You can take this postpartum as a tea, and sometimes that you can do with the Jamaican vervine as well, you can make a bath. So you fill your tub up with warm water, as warm as you can manage it, right? And then you can get a muslin cloth and add these herbs into your muslin cloth, tie it up, and make a big tea to sit in. Like you put your whole body in it. Why do we do that? Because it helps to alleviate inflammation from the body after birth or after injury. Let's say you're a runner, or you had or you're in sports, or maybe in a car accident. You steep yourself in a tea of this herb, these two herbs, and another one which I'll mention, and you just soak with a little bit of Epsom salt, and you will feel the inflammation and the pain start to leave your body. This what makes it really great for postpartum healing. What I really love about it as well, it helps with root chakra issues. So issues dealing with abundance, fertility, sexuality, creativity is really good. If you're wanting to connect more deeply with the ancestors, getting closer to your roots, it's very, very helpful in that way as well. As I mentioned, it's really good, again, in candles, baths, any type of way you want to dry it and do a smoke with it, you can do that as well. Very, very helpful. It's important also here to mention that when we use our herbs in our culture, we not only just use them for their medicinal properties, but as you can tell, we also tap into the metaphysical properties of it. Because it's just as effective on both sides, just so you know. Contraindication for this one is very similar to the Jamaican vervine. First and second trimester, third trimester, under the care of a midwife, that she would know how to put these together and when and how to administer. All right, all right, all right. Now we're going to talk about the Ramgo Dashalang. Otherwise known here in Mexico, we have it as Damiana. This one so graciously allowed me to spend some time with it this rising on my walk, and so I will show her to you. You can see. Normally there are yellow flowers, and they open during the day and close at night. This plant here is known as a great sexual enhancer. Now, let me tell you, for most of those looking for that type of support, I find Damiana Rango Dashalang to be one of the quickest aphrodisiacs. Like if you make it into a tincture, just have it ready. I noticed that in a few hours, or depending on your system, how you metabolize medicine, it like kicks in, right? This to me has been one of the fastest aphrodisiac that I know is the Damiana Ramgo Dashalang for sure. It's also great for gastrointestinal issues, great for PMS, menstrual cramps, insomnia. Again, that combined with the vervine would be a beautiful blend if you're having a hard time going to sleep and staying asleep, okay? It helps to release the afterbirth, the placenta. So after the mother has given birth and she takes some of this tea, it helps to gently release the placenta after birth. And of course, soothe the nervous system as well. It's great for any digestive disorders, rather, and inflammatory conditions such as arthritis, rheumatism, arthritis, or any pain that you may have in joint pain as well. It works great for depression and nervousness. Here in Mexico, I've heard many people call this the woman's herb for all of the nutritive value that it adds to our lives. And when I try herbs all the time, I try them by themselves. And I kind of sit with it for a while, listen to its energetics, and then I combine them with other ones. But this one, this Ramgo Dashalang, let me tell you, be ready for it in about 30 minutes. It's such a beautiful, beautiful plant. I just love it so much. Metaphysical uses, it includes self-love work. Self-love work, it works amazing for self-love. Again, root and chakra healing, family issues, sexuality issues, issues of sexual abuse, sexual trauma. It's a wonderful, wonderful ally to work with. I love it also because it helps to bring back desire to life. And what do I mean by that? Sometimes, life can really do it to us, right? It's like from one thing to another, one thing to another. You can really, sometimes in the life of things, we can lose part of ourselves. We can lose part of our vision. I know for mothers, a lot of them say, I'm just a mom and I'm a wife. But me, I forget a lot about myself. This herb here is like a little chime that goes off like, remember you, remember your commitment, remember the love. And so I use it that way often to remind myself while we're helping and loving and serving and doing supporting so many others, not to forget about yourself, not to forget about your dreams, your desires, and what you've come here to be and come here to do. All right. So that one is Rambo Dashalam. All right. Other herbs I want to talk to you about really quickly. I am being blessed by the Cerasee right here, Jamaican Cerasee, also known as bitter melon. You'll see it at other places. I harvest a little bit from my walk today. This is very, very good for cleansing the skin, cleansing the liver. It's wonderful for any skin conditions. It works great in soaps. It works great as protection baths as well. As you can see, it's almost like a sponge. You can just already just get ready to take a bath with it. I use it personally for spiritual protection when I'm doing cord cutting, or doing a cord cutting service for someone, cutting the energy that no longer serves them. I use this and replace like a walnut bath. If you don't have Cerasee, walnut bath works absolutely fine, but this one is actually good as well. I love Cerasee. Remember, the first principle in Caribbean healing is going to be cleansing, and you can definitely do this with Cerasee. It's great for the blood as well. A lot of people report having more radiant skin from the use of Cerasee. Let me tell you something. It's bitter. Bitter, 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 bitter. But it is the bitter that does the cleansing. Sometimes you need the opposite to give you the effect that you're looking for. So if you're craving the sweets and the candy and things like that, it's maybe because you're actually craving sweetness in life, but your body's attempt to get it through food. Cerasee can help. Cerasee can go and change your taste buds a little bit so that you no longer crave the sweets, but also helps your pancreas produce the proper amount of insulin for what you need to break down the extra sugar and all the other stuff that it does. Bitter herbs are so, so important. So Cerasee is good. Sarsaparilla as well is great. I love sarsaparilla for women's health because guess what it helps to do? Balance out the hormones, ladies. Balance out the hormone. Some of us have a little hirsutism, little hair on the face, or the periods are not as regular as you want it to be, or you have terrible, terrible PMS. Working with the medicine of sarsaparilla is really, really helpful in balancing out your hormones. And guess what? It is a source of natural bioavailable iron, right? So a lot of us go to the doctor to get the iron because they say, oh, you have this type of anemia, that type of anemia, this, that, and the third. Consider sarsaparilla. Consider bioavailable, because what happens when you consume this type of herb, your body says, oh, I know this. This is the right type of iron. And immediately you start to feel the strength and the power without any constipation, without having to go to the pharmacy and get a pill or anything like that. Sarsaparilla is great as a tea. You can make it as a tincture. Amazing, amazing, amazing. It is definitely a powerhouse. Postpartum healing after such trauma, sarsaparilla helps to strengthen the body along with chaining root, which I don't have here, but chaining root is also good. Most root herbs, Korean root herbs, are going to be filled with minerals. They're going to be filled with minerals, and we know minerals are like everything. Our nervous system. It helps us to see, hear, taste. It helps our nerves and our cells to communicate with each other through the medicine of minerals. So you can get your minerals through sarsaparilla, and another one that we call chaining root or cocomeca. Here in Mexico, it's called cocomeca. Last but not least, my loves, I want to share with you the medicine of Search My Heart. Now, I have not been able to find Search My Heart outside of Jamaica. I think it's one of the plants that's only found in Jamaica, and I'm curious if anyone here knows where else it's been found. Search My Heart. It is, I talked about this in my last BIPOC conversation when we talked about healing mother wounds. It is mothering. Oh, mothering. It is so mothering. It has the texture similar to, is velvety, similar to mullein. The smell is one of a kind. I don't know how to describe it other than saying one of a kind. It is really, really good for issues of the heart, all issues of the heart. They say the #1 killer of Indigenous and Black women across the world, but mainly in the West United States, is heart disease, heart issues. What is this thing about the heart, ladies? What is this thing about our heart energy that over time has gotten away from us? Over time, We have forgotten the ways of our ancestors, and other ways have come in and told us that it was better. And so now we took that medicine, and now we're in a situation where we find ourselves not living our best lives. Search My Heart is a fantastic herb for restoring heart, the physical heart, but also the energetics of a heart. It aids in forgiveness, baby, forgiveness. Having these hard conversations with loved ones, having conversations with yourself, with things and people in places that are hard, and you feel the hardness in your heart. Drink a cup of Search My Heart before you have those conversations. I encourage you, do a yoni steam with Search My Heart and see how your life will be just totally different. All these plants have their own properties, but Search My Heart, baby, it's a mother hug in a cup. And I absolutely love it. I've used this one personally with my own family. As much as they've given me this wisdom growing up with a Jamaican mother and having a Haitian father, all we saw was rituals and prayers. And we went to the church, but at home we had our other type of church. And I know y'all know what I mean. Well, other things happening. And so in learning all of that and giving all that wisdom, I still had to work through the dark night of my own soul, because when I decided to take this wisdom to the next level, and my ancestors said, we need you to do this, this, and that, I had no support. My mom said I had turned into witchcraft. My dad said I was doing something else. And I looked at them like, y'all taught me this. But when it got serious and it came to a point where are who we say we are we just playing around? Are we really the seeds of our ancestors, or are we just saying that we're this and we're that? We don't really believe it. So when it came to the practical application of this medicine, both sides of my family, they were like, so I guess over 12 years now, I guess you would say I've been excommunicated. And I say that very lightly, but it's not a light thing at all. From my bloodline, from my physical family. But I've decided to follow this journey because that's just what they asked me to do. And those who know me, y'all know I'm obedient. Now they're starting to come back and they're starting to say, oh, maybe you were right, we're sorry. And I say all that to say because I had to work through a lot of mother wounding, abandonment, lying, stealing, all kinds of stuff, father wounds, abandonment, all of these things, but yet still hold on to the ones who've come before them, if that makes any sense. And I kid you not, it has been these medicines that have held me. These plants have been my family when I didn't have anyone to call. 3 years ago, we lost everything in a hurricane, car, business, house, everything. We landed in Mexico. Mexico wasn't really like the plan, but we landed in Mexico with 2 suitcases and my husband and my 2-year-old. And Spirit said, we want to make this thing work. How? In another country with absolutely nothing. And so I'm here to tell you, when you lean into the power of your ancestors and you remember the power that lives inside of you, and especially women, since we are talking about women's health, lean into the medicine, the energetic medicine that these plants have for you. You can overcome any and everything, because I've done it and I'm not special. But I also have learned to listen. So now I know I have just a few minutes, and April, please help me with my time, honey, because I don't want to go over. I want to do a quick demonstration here with some of the plants that I have. Let me just move my table.
You do have
And show
about
you
4 minutes.
4 minutes.
So yes, 6 minutes.
Okay, y'all, we about to work it out. Okay, we about to work this thing out. No problem. So I'm going to show you really quickly how you could use herbs very quickly for your well-being. Now, here I have, all right, here I know my window's kind of bright. I have some hot water here in my, let's see, I apologize. I know the light is, you know what? Let's do that. Bam. All right. So I have some water down here.
Yaya, can you close out of the screen share so we can see
Oh,
you
yes.
in full HD?
Yes, with great pleasure. I will do that. All right, thank you. So here I have my water here. It's hot water in a jar. I prefer to use jars because you're not working with metals and things like that. From this, you can use your Cerecy. Okay, use your Cerecy. And if you're working through issues of wanting to leave a sexual partner, to be free, to reclaim your power and your strength, you can use a single herb. You don't have to make it complicated at all. So You can use single herb and hot water. This water is actually kind of hot. I would then take this here while I'm doing my yoni steam. This is your yoni steam, y'all. It's just hot water. You can add a pinch of salt and your herb. That's it. Simple, simple, simple. Okay. Take the same herbs that you're using for your steam. Guess what now? You make it into a tea. You make it into a tea. So as you're steaming and you're healing the wounds of the lower chakra, but you're also taking in the herb. So I wanted to let you know it's really that simple, y'all. You can do this at home. And men, you can also steam as well. Okay. So don't let nobody fool you. Next, let's say you're working with your Cersei or you're working with your Vervine or you're working with your dog blood. I'm just using this because this is the fresh one that I have here. You can then take your fresh herb. I'm going to use Damiana here, Rango Dashalong, and I want to make a spiritual bath. Now, you can't see my water. I'm going to tilt it down so you can see what I got here. There we go. I'm going to make a spiritual bath. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to put 9 leaves of something or another. And I'm going to turn it clockwise 9 ways. And you want to invoke the spirit and what you want to come out of this bath. So in this case, I would say, I am love, I am peace, I am healed, I am protected, I am guided, I am fulfilled, I am prosperous. Generally, you want the leaves and everything to break up. Your water's going to turn green, then it's going to turn brown. Doing the bath like this, you can add a little Florida water if you like. You can add a little cascarilla. I wish I had time to explain everything. If you like, you can add a little bit of that in there as well. Stir it around, and you want to invoke. Now, one thing about us Maroon people, we use what we have. So if you don't have all of this stuff, listen, don't trouble yourself, don't bother yourself, don't be upset. It is still going to work. The intention is everything. So you can have this here. Let it sit in the sun if you like. Some people like to do that. Some people make it on a full moon, new moon. You take my class, Pure Healing Herbalism. I tell you how to mix them in a particular way to invoke using a certain numerology or certain moon cycles. So it's really more complicated, but we ain't got much time, y'all. So you had a spiritual bath, you had your yoni steam, and you had your tea. Last but not least, you can take your same herbal blends, the herbs that we talked about, and burn it on a charcoal, which I won't do right now because I don't have time. Take a charcoal, put it in something that's fire safe, put your charcoal in there, take your herbs for a sacred process, and add it to your charcoal and use this as a smoke to cleanse yourself, your household, your children, your family, your business space. Smoke, 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 smoke. Those same benefits we talked about, those herbs, you can invoke them through smoke. I do this before I do any spiritual work. I cannot work in a place that's not clean. Remember, cleanliness is important. So we do this before we do our yoni steam, before we do our spiritual bath, we cleanse this way. And that is really what I wanted to share by way of demonstration. I apologize, I don't have much time, but I don't know, Bro, we have time for questions, or I can talk about what we have coming up, some of our events. You tell me, love.
Let's do one question, 1 or 2 questions. I know we did cut into your time with our last segment, and then the rest will be answered. If you could hop on later for the VIP session and answer more questions available.
Yes, I'll be happy to.
Okay, so first question is there any substitute for Search My Heart outside of Jamaica?
I haven't found it yet. I'm still looking. I have not found it. I think that was only there in Jamaica. I think it's endemic. I haven't found it.
Okay, and
well, I can say it, Herbal, she could use motherwort. Motherwort, could use motherwort.
And are there specific contraindications for SARS, sarsaparilla, or Cersei?
Cersei, not that I'm aware of. You know what? It does thin the blood slightly. So any type like Coumadin, if you're on type of blood thinning medication, it may thin it more. Sarsaparilla, that's none that I'm aware of.
And do you use a certain kind of SARS sarsaparilla? Someone's asking about blue SARS sarsaparilla. Is there a certain species that you use?
I get it. Let's see. I put it in the presentation. I'm not good with those scientific names, y'all. I apologize. But it is here. And that's what I get. And I get it from a source where I know it's harvested via a particular our tradition. So here's the name. Regelis. Similac Jelly. That's the one we use.
And then the last question, it's hard to find Jamaican dog blood, and a lot of the Jamaican herbs outside of Jamaica. Do you have any direct, like, reputable resources? You sell herbs, right? Do you sell herbs?
Since the hurricane, we hadn't been able to, we're still recovering our apothecary. So, since the hurricane, but I do, there is one called, Yaga Lifestyle. Is YAGA Lifestyle. I have a coupon code, it's Sistah Yaya. They source properly. They do sustainably as well. One is called I Set by Nature, ISETBY
Yes,
Nature, I Set
follow
by
her.
Nature. Yes, and those is also where they you can get clean, sustainable, and it's harvested according to our tradition, which is very, very, very important.
Awesome. So before we bring on our next speaker, could you tell people briefly the offering that you have in the BIPOC Healing Collection? She does have an ebook.
Ebook time. Yes, I do have an ebook, and especially it talks about 7 herbs for women's health. 7 herbs. Some are more commonly found, but you can learn about their uses, their names, and how it can benefit you. So that is my contribution to the collection: is 7 herbs for Caribbean herbs for women's health.
Awesome. So we did drop Sister Yaya's links in the chat. Please go follow her on social media. She also is offering a retreat in April, this upcoming April. So we do have the direct links to her chat. She's also offering a course. If you want to learn more about Caribbean herbalism, she is offering a course, a Caribbean herbalism and healing course. And we're also trying to bring her to the herbalism community, the BIPOC herbalism community. We've not reached out to you yet, but I'm thinking I'll have the team reach out to you today, Sister Yaya. A week prior to your course, if you can come onto our platform and just give us a little bit on our platform. So if you all want to hear Sister Yaya again, make sure to subscribe to our BIPOC herbalism community. It's only $19.99. Okay, and she will be back diving more into Caribbean herbs. You get another class for $19.99 plus a whole bunch of other classes and a full course, a full traditional African medicine course given by another speaker for just $19.99. So go ahead and join. Thank you so much again. Links are in the chat. We appreciate you. I always love your sessions. If we did not answer your question, we'll have Sister Yaya back for the VIP session at around 5:30 or so. So thank you, Sister Yaya, for coming. And yes, we're gonna go ahead and bring on the next speaker. Wait, I didn't ask your favorite color. What's your favorite color, Sister Yaya?
Blue, baby,
Go
blue.
ahead, yes. Go ahead and drop some blue hearts in the chat for Sister Yaya.
Thank you. I love y'all. Thank you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
We love you.
Thank you.